what initially like kind of perked our ears, Sean, was you talking about the compact and what it would mean to the state of Texas. And so, I'm kind of curious for you, what's your idea on that? I know you're not against the compact necessarily, but you did have concerns. And so I was kind of curious if you could talk about those.
Yeah, I think that's a great starting point, and I appreciate you bringing that up because to be perfectly clear, right now, to my knowledge, from what I've been told, is there's no data on the compact. So I cannot have an educated opinion on something that has no data. So I don't consider myself for nor against the compact. I think what I was trying to bring to light, though, is a medical triage situation, right? So in triage, if you go to the ER and you have multiple things going on, let's pretend one is a open wound that's bleeding, and you have a sprained ankle. The the medical professionals are going to treat the open wound that is bleeding first. And that's kind of how I look at the vertical consolidation in light of the counseling compact. Because right now there's no data for the counseling compact. I believe there's 37 states, but it's not really turned on per se.
It's not in effect yet. Yeah.
It's not in effect. But what you do have in effect already turned on is these large platforms, which I don't want to take anything away from people who are visionaries, from entrepreneurs who take risks, and build something of quality. So I don't there's some, there's pros and cons to almost everything. But these online platforms, and I'm going to specifically speak to Headway and Alma today, and I'll tell you exactly why, is they have direct ownership interest by the insurance companies, along with the venture capital groups that and private equity firms that you mentioned as well. Um, I think both are bad for healthcare and mental health. I do think, in my opinion, from a triage situation, I think the insurance companies having direct ownership of medical and mental health providers is a little bit more alarming than purely private equity. But it's not that big a difference either. They're both, in my opinion, not great for our healthcare system. And one of the things that's been difficult, and why I think I appreciate someone like you with your background in political science and policy, is you're an ally who can help me better explain just stuff that mental health professionals, and for that matter medical doctors as well,
Mhm.
just don't the knowledge isn't given to you as part of your normal education to become a licensed counselor, or in case of medical doctors, become an MD, which is how the ownership of entities work, and what it really means when the insurance company owns these platforms. And it kind of, like you said, falls in the background because you can't really see it. And one of the other troubling things that makes it even more complex is the structure and the sophistication of the insurance companies and the private
Mhm.
equity companies as well, but of the insurance companies themselves.